and online at Eagle1023.com.
Eagle 102.3. I'm Tony Motley, and I'm here with the Randolph County head football coaches. I did use an S on that, but I'm afraid I'm lying right now. Coach Prestridge and I are here, and the other two coaches, other three coaches haven't shown. I know they're, I think Wadley is feeding their bunch and on Thursday, and I think Coach Motley will be in a little late. And Coach Armstrong is practicing, and he's going to be here, he said. Now, I hadn't heard from Coach Strain, but Coach, we may have to talk about donuts and all that kind of stuff that they've got in there, because I noticed Daylight Donuts and the Pizza Hut, and if my wife is listening to this, I'll go ahead and tell you now, you won't have to fix supper for me tonight. When they waved those Daylight Donuts under my nose, it was all over, but the shouting, and the Pizza Hut is good too. I don't want to say that, but anyway, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I know 2 weeks ago, Coach Prestridge had a frowny face, and the other three coaches had smiley faces. But that has totally turned around this week. Coach Prestridge is smiling, and the other three, I guess they're frowning. They're not here right now, but I know what kind of people they are. They're going to come. Let me slide on down here, and we want to talk about last week, and then, of course, we want to talk about the upcoming games, but we'll get to that in a little bit. You had a big win inside the county against Woodland, and I was just going to ask you basically what was pleasing and difficult about it.
Well, I guess one of the biggest things is it's a great time for family and friends, and RC Nation, and I mean, it's so many things now than it used to be. But it's a great opportunity for people who hadn't been to a game, or alumni that's been gone for years and years, to come back home. And I guess about like going to a college game. I guess Alabama Auburn homecoming, and get to that excitement one more time, and see what's going on at school, and how much things have changed since they've been gone. And but it's a great win for our kids, and enjoyable night.
Well, are you healthy?
I don't think we've been healthy since the first game. It seems like every time we turn around, it's something: ankle, shoulder. I'm beginning to think we need to cut some fingernails and toenails sometime. But it's football. Football's tough, and I believe our kids are part of a group that they like to carry on the tradition of hitting and being known as being tough. And of course, people define tough as different now in this day and time. But you're gonna have bumps and bruises, and I guess we always tell them, there's a difference in hurt and injured. Are you hurt or are you injured?
Sweet.
Bumps and bruises, I remember coming home when I played and had those old bruises on your arms and knees and legs and busted blood vessels, and just had to keep going. And I think being tough is football's tough, and I guess you're never gonna heal up, and as well as I do, having bumps and bruises, that's gonna last throughout the whole season. You're gonna re-injure yourself. Those things gonna flare up. But, once football is over with, you'll have plenty of time to heal up, and your body, like I tell our kids, I said, if you got a broke finger or something like that, or you're bleeding a little bit, we can fix that. They can fix that. But, when you get to an injury where it's head or neck, that's something different. Then, we need to know, and we don't need to carry on. We need to, get you healed up first. But maybe we're still hopping around. So, but we do have some tough kids. I had to say that they try to go. They want to go. They try to practice, and we try to let them practice a little bit, because they want to practice. But at a certain point in time, we had to tell them, well, that's it for today. You can't do any more. You're not going to do anything tomorrow. We're going to try to heal you up for Friday night. So that's just football.
Well, and you and I were talking earlier about kids, and I just don't know how tough they are compared to, I don't want to say us, but back 10, 15 years ago. But the reasoning may be we could practice harder. Like we were talking, when I was coaching, we could scrimmage every day, and did, and you were saying in there just a few minutes ago, we were talking that. You have to. Is it 2 days a week that you can do that, or is it just skip a day, or how?
It's every other day that you can hit full contact. Of course, for us, we don't want to hit full contact at all much because of the number of bodies.
Yeah.
But you're talking about being tough, and I think we talked about that before. And I listened to Nick Saban talk about being tough to his players a year or two ago, and Coach Strain can relate to that because he played at the University of Alabama. I remember Nick Saban, saying, "What is tough?" He was saying, how you deal with adversity, how you deal with the play that you messed up on, or you missed a tackle, or you lost the ball, or you missed a catch, or whatever. How do you deal with that situation at that point in time? Do you let it affect the next play, or can you deal with it and move on to the next play and do a better job? And then we talked about, I remember Bobby Bowden talking about kids. Back in his days, early years, he asked a kid to do something, and the kid didn't ask why. He just did it because you told him to do it, or his parents told him to do it. He just went ahead and did it because they know the best. But I remember him saying in an interview one day that I guess it's been 5, 6, 10 years ago. If you ask a kid, I think it was ESPN. If you ask a kid back in those days or these days, you want them to do something. They got to know why you want them to do it. Mm-hmm. They got to have a reason why. But I think that's what's changed too. They got to know why you want them to do that instead of just believing. Mm-hmm. And and I'm a firm believer. It starts at home. I mean, respect, pride, how you carry yourself. It starts at home. It doesn't just start on a football field. We tell our kids it starts at home. It carries to the community to the school, and school to the playing fields, our court. It doesn't matter. So, and like we was talking about before, there's not a lot of male figures in guys' lives. And the only people they really see is us a lot of times, coaches. And, but, we love every one of them, and we care about every one of them. And, we're going to take care. I know all coaches are going to take care. We're not going to put a kid out there in harm's way. Win's not worth that. I mean, the kid's future life, how he carries himself in the world. I guess the best, how you say state championship is, 20 years down the road, what kind of father these kids are, what kind of parents they are, what kind of husband they are, or what kind of uncle they are. So, that's a championship itself.
That's a good point, Coach. I'm glad to hear you say that. And let me carry you back to homecoming. And you were talking about what a good thing it is, and getting to see people that they get to see folks they hadn't seen in a long time, and it is good. But boy, I had a phobia about that thing. Lord help! I was always afraid that we got our mind on, the floats and the pretty girls and all this kind of stuff, and not. I know my first year. At Munford, we had homecoming, and Thursday I had 3 of them, and one of them was a starting quarterback. They weren't at practice, and they didn't get to practice until about the middle of it. And I said, "Where have y'all been?" And they said, "Oh, well, Coach, we were supposed to help decorate that float," and that's where they were. They were decorating the float, And I chewed on them a little bit, and then I finally gave them a choice. I said, "Well," and I'd get fired for this today, but I said, "Well, y'all want to play Friday night? You can take 3 licks, or you can sit on the sideline and watch us." And they took the 3 licks, and they were good ones too, But anyway, that's homecoming to me, kind of fearful. Okay, we're going to take a break here, and I imagine I might eat another daylight donut. I don't know.
Hi, this is Steve Smith, manager at Russell Dewitt Center in Roanoke. On behalf of the Russell Companies and all the employees at Russell Dewitt Center, I'd like to offer a big congratulations to all the area high school football teams on their efforts this season. Russell Dewitt Center is pleased to have been part of the support of area schools and helping to bring you area high school football on Eagle 102.3. We also want to thank you for your business and pledge our continued efforts to provide you with the finest products and service available. Come see us at Russell Dewitt Center, Highway 431, Roanoke.
You'll want to taste it all at Daylight Donuts, where everything is made fresh daily. Stop by today for a sweet treat or to place an order for your special event. Try their donuts, fritters, biscuits, croissants, or homemade kolaches. Their delicious pastries are something anyone can enjoy. For more information, call 334-863-6466 or stop by Daylight Donuts at 3164 Highway 431, Roanoke. They're open Monday through Saturday from 5 to 5 and Sundays from 5 to 1. Every day is a good day for donuts with Daylight Donuts.
Have you been looking for somewhere new to eat in Randolph County? Barber's Bar and Grill, located in Wedowee, just off the lake, is just the spot for you and your family. They've got creative waffles for breakfast to unique burgers and seafood selections and alcohol drink specials. They're open from 11 to 9 Monday through Thursday, 11 to 2 Friday and Saturday, and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Check out Barber's Bar and Grill on Facebook and find out more about our big Halloween party on October 31st.
Why choose Southern Union?
Between working and family responsibilities, I thought I'd never be able to go to school. But Southern Union offered flexible schedules for both day and night courses.
At Southern Union, I was able to take classes that gave me hands-on experience to aid in my future career.
I really needed a calculus class, but couldn't fit calculus into my schedule this semester. So I went to Southern Union, and it transferred back to my university.
Keep going at Southern Union. Your journey has just begun. For more information, visit suscc.edu.
Now back to the Russell Dewitt Center Area Football Coaches Show on Eagle 102.3 and online at eagle1023.com.
Okay, we're back here at the Eagle, and Coach Strain has come in, and I want to talk to him a minute about last Friday night. Coach, we're going to talk about last Friday night, and then we're going to move on ahead pretty quickly.
Sounds good.
But I noticed that you was in a close one with Lynette, close ball game. Was there any surprises or anything that just tell us a little bit about it?
Well, the biggest thing that happened to us was we didn't find out till Thursday that Tay Meadows, which is one of my main backs with Devontae Houston, he's out for the season. Yeah. And he had practiced all week and actually had was heavily involved in our offensive game plan. Not that being an excuse. And we've been without him for the past 2 or 3 weeks. What ended up happening in his situation, he got hurt last year against Elmore County and tore his MCL. Well, normally MCL, if it's not a complete rupture or some other type problem, grows back in about 2 weeks. Of course, I don't think he ever had an MRI or anything like that. But anyway, make a long story short, he has rehabbed that thing and get back on the field 2 or 3 weeks later, and he has a problem with it. And then next thing you know, we rehab it again, and he got bumped on Wednesday afternoon's practice, and it was very light. Somebody actually kicked him, is what happened to his knee, and he went down. And so he had surgery today. And so what happened was the MCL had kind of looped and got in behind some other stuff in the knee. So we was without Meadows. So that affects us a little bit. But the real difference in the game against us and Lynette was we had 6 turnovers and they didn't have any. That was the big real factor. Matter of fact, one of our turnovers set them up for a touchdown, and then they had a punt return against us. But we had the ball on the 5-yard line with about 54 seconds to go, to win the ball game there, and we come up short on a 4th down and 2 play down there. And so, but I thought we had some miscues in the game. I thought we played well at times. There were some times that we obviously didn't play as good as we should have been playing either. We made too many mistakes, too many penalties.
What grade is Meadows in?
Meadows is a sophomore.
Okay, so you'll probably get him back.
I'll get him back. With the surgery MCL is nothing like ACL surgery. It's 6 to 8 week recovery time. And so he's probably out for the season. The football season is probably going to be pretty close to being over in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I think I read, Coach, where you fumbled 3 times, and then you and I both know it's hard to beat a good football team doing that. And my question is, what do you do? How do you teach? How do you teach ball handling?
I don't know. Which there's a turnover circuit that we do sometimes, but you always talk about ball security and about putting the ball away. Put the nose of the football in your palm, the other in your bicep, and hold it high and tight. We talk about that. You stress that. And for the most part, our kids do that. But one of them was actually a fumbled snap, is what it was, and they recovered on the fumble snap. And the other one was off a screen pass, and the guy had his back turned after he caught it. So, and matter of fact, both of the other 2 fumbles was debatable whether it was a catch or a fumble. And so it wasn't like any of the 3 that were running down the field and somebody hit them and they fumbled the football. Mm-hmm. It was kind of 2 of them were either catches or not catches. And we actually challenged one of the plays because we didn't think it was a catch, and but we got overruled on that. Another one was a fumble snap. But to answer your question, how do you work on turnovers, Coach? You've been in it a long time.
Well, let me tell you this how smart I am. I first started out in Chevalla outside of Phoenix City, and we played a ball game, and kid fumbled a football, so I gave him a football the next day, and he had that following Monday, and he had to carry that football with him all week to every class, And did he fumble anymore? Yeah, I think he did. I don't know if that helped any or not. Maybe, but I don't know. I have done ball handling drills. I've done the takeaways. And it just seems like some kids will fumble, some won't. I don't know. What about it, Coach? Tell us what you do over there.
I can't tell you my philosophy because we fumbled 9 times against Piedmont or laid it on the ground on snaps. And then last Friday night we fumbled 3 or 4 times. So go figure. I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, is it focus? The kids focus? I don't know how you work on that.
The more you talk about it, it seems like the more you fumble.
Well, exactly what you just talked about. There's one thing that you never say in timeout when you are ahead is what I've been told from older coaches, I guess, previous to me. You don't ever go up there and say in the timeout period, says, don't fumble the football, because the last focus that they got on their mind is fumbling the football. That's about like telling you, don't think about a black cat, because the first thing that pops in your mind is a black cat. Yeah. So you really talk about, hey, secure the football, take care of the ball. That's what we try to say instead of don't fumble the football.
We were playing Alexandria one night when I was at Munford, and I don't know, there was maybe 30 seconds to go in the ball game. We were about to kick a field goal and win it. We were behind about 2 points. And of course, when we lined up to kick it, they called timeout to make us think about it. So I walked out in the huddle, and instead of telling them and talking about, you make sure you block this and you do this, I looked at the kicker and I said, I want a hamburger. And he looked at me and he said, what? I said, let's me and you go eat hamburger up here at so-and-so after the ball game. I said, I like mayonnaise on it and onions, and I like the whole trimming. That's what we talked about. And they was all leaned over looking at me like they thought I had lost my mind. But what I was doing is we were thinking about everything but pressure. And he nailed that thing, well, I tell you. So I don't know if that.
I got a question about you playing at Alexandria, Coach. Did the guy over there holding the down marker, did he have his hand up high or down low?
If it's up high, it's a pass. If it's down low, it's
No, they wouldn't do that at Alexandria, would they, Coach?
And that might have been the brother. So what I did that, I started talking about, I'd turn and tell this guy, one of our Coach Hams, I'd turn around and tell Coach Hams, and he'd radio it upstairs so that we'd know what we was looking for. And I started calling everything a pass, a run, and everything a run, a pass. And man, you'd see those linebackers dropping, and we'd be running right at them. I don't know that we could have beat them, Van Min.
I don't know if the audience really understands what we're talking about, but chain game's always on the visiting side when you're at Alexandria. It's always close to where the coach is calling the play. So usually they have a little help with the chain gang over there. And the guy's putting his hand to tell the coach across the field, we're running it or passing it.
This is true. All right. I think we're going to take another break here, and let's see. I'm trying to think of who I can. Russell Dewitt is still I hadn't been back there since I bought my stove that was cracked, and they took care of that. But those are good folks, and I like to go in up there because they know what when you go in, they treat you right, but they know what they're talking about, and that's important.
Whether it's urgent care or primary care, RMC's Roanoke Rural Health and Urgent Care Center is here to meet your family health care needs. Our clinic provides CT scans, ultrasounds, digital x-rays, and stress tests, as well as primary or special care services. Located at 1950 Main Street in Roanoke, we're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. RMC Urgent Care and Rural Health Center. The right care right here.
Hi, this is Steve Smith, manager at Russell Dewitt Center in Roanoke. On behalf of the Russell companies and all the employees at Russell Dewitt Center, I'd like to offer a big congratulations to all the area high school football teams on their efforts this season. Russell Dewitt Center is pleased to have been part of the support of area schools and helping to bring you area high school football on Eagle 102.3. We also want to thank you for your business and pledge our continued efforts to provide you with the finest products and service available. Come see us at Russell Dewitt Center, Highway 431, Roanoke.
You'll want to taste it all at Daylight Donuts, where everything is made fresh daily. Stop by today for a sweet treat or to place an order for your special event. Try their donuts, fritters, biscuits, croissants, or homemade kolaches. Their delicious pastries are something anyone can enjoy. For more information, call 334-863-6466 or stop by Daylight Donuts at 3164 Highway 431, Roanoke. They're open Monday through Saturday from 5 to 5 and Sundays from 5 to 1. Every day is a good day for donuts with Daylight Donuts.
Have you been looking for somewhere new to eat in Randolph County? Barber's Bar and Grill, located in Wedowee, is just the spot for you and your family. Hey, we've got a big Halloween party going on October 31st. A fun-filled night, including games, trunk and treat, costume contest, and $1.99 hot dogs and chips baskets for the kids. So come see us at Barber's Bar and Grill anytime, but especially on October 31st. Check them out on Facebook at Barber's Bar and Grill.
Now back to the Russell Dewitt Center Area Football Coaches Show on Eagle 102.3 and online at eagle1023.com.
All right, Coach Motley just came in from Wadley, and he's got a frowny face on too. I was hoping that Coach Strain and Coach Motley would upset two undefeateds, but it didn't happen. Anyway, Coach Motley, you played Ranburne. You scored first, 8-0. They came back and tied it up at half. Going into the third, well, really into the fourth quarter, then they came ahead and scored 15-8, and I wrote this down. It looked like you ran out of gas, and then I bought a paper yesterday, and it says, "Looked like you ran out of gas." So I want you to know that was my opinion, no matter what the paper said. But anyway, tell us a little bit about the game. You know, just what you thought.
Well, I was hoping y'all would be done skipped over my part when I got here.
That's why you're late.
But you know, you go there, you play Ranburne, and they've always been a physical team, and that's just what they were. They were physical, but you know, we got the ball first and driving the ball 6-7 yards a pop, and then all of a sudden we fumble the ball and give it up to them, and then
there it is.
And we've been talking about the fumbles. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then you know, we get down and get down to the 3-yard line, and we can't stuff it in, and we turn the ball over on downs. And, you know, we really should have scored at least 2 more times in that first half, and we didn't. And then it just ran on right there, 8-8 all the way into the fourth quarter, right there at the end. And then, like you said, and I think I talked to the guy from the paper, and we ran out of gas. We got some guys hurt, some key guys hurt too, and we just couldn't overcome it. Ranburne stuck it in right there, and a little bit of that air blew out of us, and then we got a safety, and it really blew out. So, you know, and that first half, not sticking the ball in, really, it ended up hurting us there in the end.
Well, and your running back, Messer, who had been, I think he'd practiced a little, but he'd been out for basically 2 weeks, and he runs the ball and picks up about maybe 15 yards of second play and gets hurt.
He does. He lands on the ball, and the guy lands on top of him, and he kind of squishes his ribs a little bit, and but he ends up, he plays the rest of the game. He's still nursing his his thigh muscle a little bit and limping around out there, but he still plays. And my outside linebacker, he's limping around with his ankle still. And but he stayed out there and played, and that's just the way. That's the way we had to do it. And then we ended up getting Elijah Beverly got hurt there at the end of the game, and well, he actually got hurt early in the game, and nobody knew it because he's just a tough kid, and he just kept playing, and finally, he said, I'm hurt, and for him to say that he was hurt. Yep. So that's just the way it ended up with us, and you can't say nothing bad about Rammer. They're a physical team. Coach Bailey does a good job with them guys over there, and then they're undefeated.
Yeah. Well, is there anybody else that's hurt? You may not want to talk about it. I don't know, but I don't think you're totally healthy. But
no, we're not. We got Clay Langley. He played outside linebacker and played tight end for us. He's hurt. He hurt his knee pretty bad, and we got some young guys that's going to be playing Friday night. And that's the way we've been all year. We've been banged up all year and had to depend on some of these young guys. And we got some 9th and 10th graders. We're gonna be starting tomorrow night.
I was going to ask you what we've been talking about fumbles, and I was going to ask you what you do, but you was quick to tell me that you fumbled the ball, so I'm not even going to ask you anything.
Yeah.
You don't know. We'll have to wait and hope Coach Armstrong gets here, and maybe he can tell us or something.
Stick 'em. What's that? Stick 'em. You spray your hand, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it illegal now?
Yeah. Everything is, I think. All right, Coach Prestridge, let's talk about Weaver. Let's talk about this coming Friday. I'm gonna tell you a little. They're 0-5, or what we call OFA. And then you play Wellborn next week. And my question is going to be to you, how do you focus? I mean, kids are smart today. I mean, they I used to tell our bunch, I don't think half of ours could read. And I would tell ours, that, hey, this is a good football team. And they might be 0-5. And, they know. They know what's going on out there, and you can't lie to them. I mean, and I'm not sitting here saying this team at 0-5 is not a good ball club and that they can't beat you. We all know they can, but you got that next toughie coming. How you gonna focus on that? How you gonna handle that, Coach?
Well, most people compare scores by opponents, but Weaver's one of those. They've changed coaches. Coach Taylor came from Cherokee County. And I think he's from Heflin originally, under Coach Short. But I was talking to him the other day, and he had, he came into spring and put some little stipulations on it, some rules on them a little bit. And he said he lost about 25 players, just trying to get them to do right. Mm-hmm. And I know he's starting a lot of 10th graders. He has some 7th, 8th graders that start also, a lot of 9th graders. So he's young also. And, we haven't let our kids watch film on them this week. I think he said he lost his best running back the other night, broke his leg, had to have surgery. And, of course, we're not overlooking anyone, 0-5. Like, if you fumble 9 times in a game, anything can happen, like we did over at Piedmont. 11 penalties for 100-something yards. So anything can happen. And I don't care what game you're into, you have a little bit of luck. But I guess what's going to hurt us most is, Notasulga, we went, had to go 4 quarters just about. And then Piedmont, we wound up going 4 quarters. But then since then, we haven't. So this week, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. But I know against Wellborn the next week, it's going to be more than 4 quarters. Mm-hmm. I mean, because when you got 22 returning starters, it's tough. But going back to Weaver, yes, we're going to play, I guess this is one of those situations where you're going to play tough. Hopefully you get to play a lot of young kids also and get some experience. That's number one, because I know how it's going to be down the road. We're going to be mighty young, skill-wise, a year from today. and we may be playing ninth graders ourselves next year, eighth graders. It's that low. And so how do you get your kids ready? When they watch film, of course, like I said, we didn't let them watch film this week. And they just mentally got to get ready and play the game and polish. And we'll just go, see how the game goes and go from there.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. I will say Young's Drugs is one of our sponsors in Woodland, and I see here that they have long guns, and I'm assuming that's hunting guns, hunt for hunting. But anyway, we appreciate Young's, and we're gone.
The Rehab Center and TREA at Trailer Retirement Community in Roanoke offer a wide range of therapy services that will help you get back on your feet and cheering for your team. Their highly skilled team of physical, occupational, and speech therapists offer intensive 6-day-a-week therapy services for all medical needs, including orthopedic and post-surgical care, stroke, and generalized weakness rehab. Serving the area for 15 years, the Rehab Center and TREA are there to help improve your quality of life. For more information, call 334-863-3500.
Hi, this is Steve Smith, manager at Russell Dewitt Center in Roanoke. On behalf of the Russell Companies and all the employees at Russell Dewitt Center, I'd like to offer a big congratulations to all the area high school football teams on their efforts this season. Russell Dewitt Center is pleased to have been part of the support of area schools and helping to bring you area high school football on Eagle 102.3. We also want to thank you for your business and pledge our continued efforts to provide you with the finest products and service available. Come see us at Russell Dewitt Center, Highway 431, Roanoke.
You'll want to taste it all at Daylight Donuts, where everything is made fresh daily. Stop by today for a sweet treat or to place an order for your special event. Try their donuts, fritters, biscuits, croissants, or homemade kolaches. Their delicious pastries are something anyone can enjoy. For more information, call 334-863-6466 or stop by Daylight Donuts at 3164 Highway 431, Roanoke. They're open Monday through Saturday from 5 to 5 and Sundays from 5 to 1. Every day is a good day for donuts with Daylight Donuts.
Have you been looking for somewhere new to eat in Randolph County? Barber's Bar and Grill, located in Wedowee, just off the lake, is just the spot for you and your family. They've got creative waffles for breakfast to unique burgers and seafood selections and alcohol drink specials. They're open from 11 to 9 Monday through Thursday, 11 to 2 Friday and Saturday, and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Check out Barber's Bar and Grill on Facebook and find out more about our big Halloween party on October 31st.
Now back to the Russell Dewitt Center Area Football Coaches Show on Eagle 102.3 and online at eagle1023.com.
Okay, we're back here at the Eagle. I was just thinking now, coaches, I look at y'all and watch you, and I admire what you do and how you handle things. I couldn't do it today. I don't think I could. It's a different breed. It's different rules. We were talking earlier, and I won't mention anybody's name, but we were talking about parents out there taking pictures and doing things, and I wouldn't function like that. I'd have to find me a place to just seal up everything, keep everybody out of there, and then I'd do what I did. I'd be fired pretty quick. But we were talking about how you get ready to play, somebody that you might not be as tough as, and like you said, Coach, you didn't show any film. We used to have a chart that we had goals for every Friday night. Of course, one of them was win, but we were going to run 10 hundreds every Monday. And then we had about 15 or 16 goals. Some of them were defense, some offense, some kicking game, and hold them to so many points, hold them to so many yardage, and every one of those we didn't get was another 100-yard wind sprint. So now here we are in the third quarter, and we're ahead, and we start playing these other kids, and guess what? The rule still applies. And our seniors would be hollering at those 9th and 10th graders, motivating them. Don't let them do that. Don't let them score. I don't know. I don't know if you know how that would work today, but that's one thing that we did. I don't know. All right, Coach Motley, let me ask you something. I'm back with you again. You just got here late, so I'm going to double up on you. You're playing Billingsley. Billingsley is 3-2. They lost, and correct me y'all correct me on any of this stuff if I'm wrong about it. And I probably may be, but I think they lost their first 2, and if I'm not mistaken, they won their last 3 ball games. Am I right?
That's right.
Okay, what's it going to take? And you're going to limp down there. What's it going to take to win?
Well, Bisley's they got a pretty decent little quarterback. He's pretty accurate throwing the ball. And they spread it out some, and then when they get inside the 20-yard line, they got a lineman down there that's about 6'3". I don't know how much he'd weigh. He probably weighs 260 pounds, and they get in like a Notre Dame box look, and they just pound it. And you know, we're just gonna try to wad it up, and well, first of all, we got to keep them from getting inside the 20. So that's gonna be our first feat. But they about the first, second play of the game, they like to throw it deep. They're gonna throw it up, and they've been successful doing it. We just got to limit that big play, and here we're gonna be depending on some young guys. Filling some big shoes this week, and that's what we've been working on all week. These younger guys coming up and playing, and that's just the way it is right now. And I'm gonna have a new center in there that's a 10th grader. Hadn't had much playing time at all this year, and gonna have a 9th grader starting at tailback, and that's just where I'm at right now. You know. And that's the way it is. You know, with a lot of schools right now, you know, we're deep in the season, and a lot of people's got injuries going on right now, and we're just trying to get healed up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Coach Strain and Coach Motley, from what I understand, y'all are probably 2 of the nicest coaches in the county and maybe in the state. Didn't y'all both of you send a pretty good athlete to Lynette last year?
Believe we did.
This year, yeah.
Believe we did.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Coach Strain. You play Elmore County.
Yes, sir.
They're 1-4, and I was looking at some scores here. Now, Elmore County beat Dadeville, I think, the first ball game. Then Dadeville turned around and narrowly loses to Reeltown 20-28. That's interesting. I mean, you know, like you said, Coach Fresh said, we look at scores, but that tells me that that's somebody you can't overlook.
Well, it's, you know, in our region to start with, everybody is pretty equal, to be honest with you. You know, Lincoln may be the one that stands out above everybody else in our region. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night, and that happened last year in our region. But they played Dadeville last week, and Elmore County beat them 28-21. I think Reeltown and Dadeville always opens up the season together. If you compare something to Reeltown, from what I know how Reeltown has been in the past, they're always an extremely good football team. The biggest thing for us, I guess, playing against Elmore, and they're a pure wing T team, and we really haven't seen a pure wing T team all season long. Hallisey run a little bit of it in the Notre Dame box, and got in single wing and some double wing stuff, but really didn't play a lot of it against us. So that's going to be the first challenge for us, is we're going to see somebody that's going to run wing T from the first play of the game to the last play of the game. And I think it has to do with the type of kids that he's got. You know, they have a new coach. This is his second year, and he's came from North Alabama, and they had a real talented team last year, had a lot of skilled people, and I think they went to more of the blue-collar type folks that's on his team. He's probably young, just a little bit, but he's still got a couple of skilled guys, that's big guys that can run the football. I think that's what he thinks his best advantage is to get in that wing T, control the clock. You know, people just today, and I know Coach Motley probably runs the wing T, but, you know, we at our level don't see the wing T much anymore. So that's a little different challenge for us. It's hard to talk about running the slant trap and buck sweep and the waggle, and kids at our level say, "What's those 3 plays?" You know, and you know, somebody that's constantly seeing the wing T know what those basic 3 plays are out of the wing T are. So I think it's the first challenge. Plus, we have to go down there, and you're always worried about when you go down there, especially with the heat. It's not hadn't broken yet. And here we are in Game 6, and it's still 90-something degrees outside, and you're going to get on the school bus, and you're going to have to travel about 2 hours, and you're going to dehydrate before you get down there, and then you're probably going to be in a dressing room with no air conditioning. That is a factor, too. It's not as big a factor at home when you don't have to travel, and you got a locker room that's got air conditioning. So, but it is a big ball game for this week for us.
Okay. I was looking at the rankings here. Now I'm going, and I know none of you are going to predict you're going to win the state this year. Not that you can't, but I mean I know you're not going to. But I'm going to ask you anyway. Something here. I see. Looking at 4A, and I see UMS Wright is ranked number 1. American Christian is number 2. Catholic Montgomery is 3. Coach Strain, who is American Christian and Catholic Montgomery?
Well, they're two good football teams to start with. But the thing about it in 4A, it don't matter whatever region there is that you look all the way from north to south in Class 4A, you better worry about facing Region 1 right now, and that's the region that's got UMS, Hillcrest, Evergreen, Andalusia, Clark County, everyone there, Williamson. There's 6 teams that are in that region for sure, if not more. At any given night, they can beat just about anybody. Now, they may not compete against a 6A or 7A school, but they're as good as anybody. And what's going to happen to us in the playoffs, if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs, after week 1, we're going to face either their 1, their 2, their 3, or the 4 for the next 3 weeks. And it's the same thing that happened to us in 2016 when we had to travel 3 times to Mobile. But as far as the rankings, Montgomery Catholic is a good team, and American Christian is a good team. But you might as well erase everything else. You better worry about who's coming out of Region 1 because you're going to face one of those 4 teams that's coming out of it.
Are they a semi-private school? Can they go after people?
Well, UMS Wright is a private school down there, and they got coaches that coach very, very well, very talented. They get the cream of the players. They're smart in that particular area, but them and St. Paul fight for it down there. Coach Curtis has been doing it for years and years. He knows exactly what's going on, so he does a heck of a job down there. But UMS is one that usually rules that region down there. But you're talking about somebody else about like Andalusia. Now, Andalusia's got a great program too as well. Who was it? Hillcrest Evergreen won the 3A state championship the year before they moved to 4A. Williamson was in 5A.
I felt that one.
and so Williamson played for it probably 6, 7, 8 years ago in 5A. So that's just a tough region to compete against down there.
All right, we want to pick up here when we come back. We got to take a break.
The Randolph County Sheriff's Department is a proud supporter of all the local area schools. Whether you're a Tiger, a Bulldog, or a Bobcat, the Sheriff's Department would like to wish all the students, faculty, support staff, and families of Randolph County a great 2019 and 2020 school year. On behalf of Sheriff David Cofield and all the personnel at the Randolph County Sheriff's Department, we would like to remind you to buckle up, drive responsibly, and let's have an amazing football season.
Dentistry isn't all about teeth. It's about listening and treating patients like family. At Dr. Michael Edwards' office, that's what you'll get. Located in Wedowee, Dr. Edwards' team of highly qualified dental specialists are there to address all of your dental needs, accepting patients ages 4 and up and offering a full complement of dental services, including implants, oral surgery with IV sedation, full mouth replacement, and prevention and treatment of gum disease. For more information, visit them online at miketooth.com or call 256-357-2882 to schedule your appointment. Keep those winning smiles bright.
Every town has one, that friendly hometown restaurant that serves good food every day. In Roanoke, it's Gedney's Restaurant and Grill on Highway 431. What are you doing for lunch tomorrow? You could be enjoying Gedney's Lunch Buffet, home-style vegetables with a choice of meat. Give us a call at 863-8272 or come by and see why everyone eats at Gedney's. Gedney's Restaurant and Grill, more than just a steakhouse, located on 431 in Roanoke.
Looking for a local Christian service store? Look no further than Morning Star Christian Gear. They offer the best selection of Christian-based products around, including King James Bibles, Bible covers, Day Springs box cards, communion supplies, and other amazing Christian-based gifts. Located on Highway 431 South in Roanoke, Open Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 5:30 and Saturday 10 to 4. For more information, call Morningstar Christian Gear at 334-863-2425.
Now back to the Russell Dewitt Center Area Football Coaches Show on Eagle 102.3 and online at eagle1023.com.
Learning stuff. Coach Prestridge. And 3A football, I see Flomaton as number 1. Piedmont, I've heard of them somewhere. Number 2, RCHS is number 7, and it may have changed. You may have moved down a notch. Wellborn is number 10. And the thing that's so interesting in this, as of last week, I think there was 7 undefeated football teams still in 3A football in the top 10. Am I right? And tell me what you think and who's the bear.
I really don't even look at that stuff. I really don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even look at it until the end. But, you know, it goes back to, I think, when we was all in 2A. Coach Strang can talk about this too, but it was always somebody out of that Region 2A, Region 5, that went to state championship. Always Lineville, Clay County, Woodland, Randolph County, somebody. I think that was, I mean, you can go back to, I don't know how many years one of them was playing in the state championship. Well, I think now you can go back to our region now. You're talking about Piedmont, Wellborn. You can't rule out Pleasant Valley. Sachs also has athletes too. So I think for the last 3 or 4 years, somebody out of our region has played for a state championship. But, you know, you're talking about the South. I mean, I've heard Gordo is loaded. Pretty good team this year. Of course, you got Mobile Christian. And then, like you said, you got Flomaton. And then I think you have Pike County now, like it used to be, the old Pike County. But somebody, you know, it's going to be, like Coach said, out of that region down there, it's going to be somebody out of that region too that's going to be competing for it. So I sort of don't get into that stuff until I know I'm in, because we're going to have a tough battle the next 4 weeks. You know, trying to get in at least.
We were playing, when I was in Phoenix City, we were playing Pike County, and we went down to their place, and they didn't like us. They didn't treat us very nice. They spanked us. And on top of all of that, they broke the huddle, came out, and did a forward roll. The offensive line did. Went up and ran a play. They huddled up, about 10 seconds to go. They broke the huddle and came out and did a forward roll and ran a play. Well, I didn't forget that. That stuck in my mind for a long time. And so about the 5th or 6th, 7th ball game down there, we said we play in Pike County, and we will practice the forward roll. And we were ahead enough at the end of the game with about 30 seconds to go that we come out, break a huddle, do a forward roll, and doggone, they flagged us. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, they can't come to a stop like that, Coach." I said, "Well, I don't know much about forward rolls, but Mr. Ref, get your flag out, because they did it to us last year, and we're going to do one more forward roll." And we did. But, no, Pike County plays good football, though. They really, really do. All right, I need some help here. I'm going to go, since Coach Armstrong's not here, in 2A. And I don't know much about these people not now. Fife is number 1, Laverne is number 2. I do know Reeltown is, well, they're 5th, and Ohatchee is number 3. So I know about Ohatchee, I know about Reeltown. Just anybody jump in there if you know something about them, and let's just talk about them a minute and see who the bear is in that bunch.
Well, Fife has always been the bear, I guess, in that one. Everybody like Piedmont every year. They're going to be there somewhere in there. You know, it'll probably come down to them and Ohatchee again, or somewhere right in there for the North. South, I don't know much about, except I know Reeltown's pretty good this year.
Was it Flomaton? Who was it last year?
Flomaton was 3A.
3A.
But 2A,
who was it they played?
I can't.
I don't remember who it was.
I can't either. But, you know, most of the time it's Fife and somebody else that way. I'm trying to think who could it be. Years ago it was Lynette. And
it was Leroy years ago for us.
Leroy, that was. I think Leroy was pretty good this year also. Trying to think who else. Can't remember anybody else.
Really don't.
Maybe we need to get back to 2A. Maybe we move down to 2A. So.
Now, how will how will Ramburn do? How will they stack up in with this bunch?
Well, it's going where they play at.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's different when you play at home and away now this day and time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he said he might have to go there. But I know Old Hatchie has a stud of a running back. I mean, he's been playing, I know, for 3 or 4 years now, and he sort of reminds me of the kid from Wiley years ago.
Wilt's kid?
Wilt's kid, yes. He's similar to him, big. So he's a bruiser. Of course, I felt that thunder too a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, and he was young then. I think he was 9th, 10th grader then. But of course, Fife, Fife's the real deal. They get all those kids around Plainview and all that stuff. All those kids go up there and go to that school and from Sylvania and all that stuff. And Benfield does a good job. And that wing T stuff, that pounds you up deal. And both of them. And the bad thing is, old Hatchie got there, went and sat down with Fife and got all their information about how to run a wing T. So, so it's.
They know each other well.
I do.
Now, Coach Strain, you were talking about facing the wing T again this week. They run a fullback up and a tailback around one way and a quarterback boot that way. And I'm not trying to get you to give out any information, but don't you have to assign somebody to every one of those kids? You can't just...
You got to assign somebody. And, my key to the wing T, especially if you're going to defense it, you have to worry about the tight end and the wing back first. That's my opinion, especially if they're going to run the buck. Yep. Because most people don't realize that tight end is going to come down on gap backers, usually what the term is. He's going to come down, he's going to block down on somebody. And that wing is going to come down and block your defensive end. Well, and the defensive scheme that we try to do is that my defensive end's got to keep the tight end off the linebacker or the down tackle there. And then my outside backer's got to keep the wing off my defensive end. Now, I don't know if I'm telling any secrets, but that's how we try to defense it. And, waggle's a tough play to stop, especially if you sit back here and try to play zone the whole time versus the waggle. And then they're going to get you at some point with a slant trap. I remember somebody asking some coach in a coaching office years ago, how do you stop the slant trap? We went all the way to Bill Oliver at the University of Alabama, and he still couldn't tell us how to stop it. You remember that, Coach? Yeah. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing is, for all of us and assimilating that in practice, having kids that can run that kind of offense.
That's what my problem is.
We don't have those big bruisers that in practice that pound our defense. Yeah. We don't have that quickness from our scout team. So simulating that in practice it's a lot different than getting out there on the field and doing it.
Oh, yeah. Let's pick up there when we come back. We've got to take a break.
Hi, this is Steve Smith, manager at Russell Dewitt Center in Roanoke. On behalf of the Russell Companies and all the employees at Russell Dewitt Center, I'd like to offer a big congratulations to all the area high school football teams on their efforts this season. Russell Dewitt Center is pleased to have been part of the support of area schools and helping to bring you area high school football on Eagle 102.3. We also want to thank you for your business and pledge our continued efforts to provide you with the finest products and service available. Come see us at Russell Dewitt Center, Highway 431, Roanoke.
You'll want to taste it all at Daylight Donuts, where everything is made fresh daily. Stop by today for a sweet treat or to place an order for your special event. Try their donuts, fritters, biscuits, croissants, or homemade kolaches. Their delicious pastries are something anyone can enjoy. For more information, call 334-863-6466 or stop by Daylight Donuts at 3164 Highway 431, Roanoke. They're open Monday through Saturday from 5 to 5 and Sundays from 5 to 1. Every day is a good day for donuts with Daylight Donuts.
Have you been looking for somewhere new to eat in Randolph County? Barber's Bar and Grill, located in Wedowee, is just the spot for you and your family. Hey, we've got a big Halloween party going on October 31st. A fun-filled night, including games, trunk and treat, costume contest, and a $1.99 hot dogs and chips baskets for the kids. So, come see us at Barber's Bar and Grill anytime, but especially on October 31st. Check them out on Facebook at Barber's Bar and Grill.
There are places where the sunrise is still savored, where spirits and energy soar, where neighbors are more like family, and where big things come in small packages. Welcome to Wadley, Alabama, a great place to raise a family, grow a business, or enjoy your next great adventure. Located along the beautiful Tallapoosa River, Wadley is home to Southern Union State Community College and boasts an award-winning school system where students K-4 through 12 are located on one convenient campus. On behalf of Mayor Donna McKay and the Wadley Town Council, welcome to Wadley, where roots run deep and futures bloom. Now back to the Russell Dewitt Center Area Football Coaches Show on Eagle 102.3 and online at eagle1023.com.
Okay, we're back. There's something that we're talking about, and if you like this idea, call in and let us know. We're thinking about taking the last 15 minutes of this show here and entertaining call-ins. And so if you think if you'd like to talk to any one of the coaches, as long as you don't want to cuss him out, if you want, or if you want to call and just ask a question, I'm sure with all this knowledge we'll give you some kind of answer. It may not be right, but it'll be an answer. And but if it won't be next week, but it'll be the following week that we're thinking about doing that. So get your questions ready, and it'll be the last 15 minutes. We were finishing up with simulating the wing tee, and I think, did we finish that? I think we did. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on now to 1A, and Mars Hill Bible is number 1, and these names you've heard before. Maplesville is number 2, Sweetwater is number 3, Lynette's number 5. Coach Motley, tell me something about that. Who do you think the bear is in that bunch? And
well, you can't overlook Mars Hill. They were there last year, and they kind of come out of nowhere. I hadn't seen them play at all, but I heard about them from last year that they're huge, and they do things well. They got some athletes over there, got them in. Maplesville, they're always tough school to deal with. They got good kids in there, and then they always have good football players. Their coach left; he went to Miller, but this guy that's there, he's got a lot to work with. They always got talent down there.
Okay.
Sweetwater is. They got a good group of 10th graders that coming up, and. It's a big class of 10th graders, and a lot of them guys, some of those guys started 2 years ago in the 8th grade in the championship game for Sweetwater over there. So they got a good little group coming up. And then you got Lynette. They just got athletes all over the field, and they're hard to stop. So, I mean, you got several schools in there that are real competitive, and they'd be hard to beat.
All three of you coaches ought to get in politics. I ask them for the bear, and I don't get an answer. Everybody's great, But anyway, okay. We're about to run out of time, but I've got one thing I want to throw out here at you, and we just talk a little bit of football here. We get 2 minutes. Okay. Well, I know this bunch can handle this maybe in 2 minutes. How do you teach tackling and stay healthy? And I always, I as a young coach, I thought you had to just, to learn how to tackle, you just had to go get it. And I started getting people beat up and bruised, and and I still don't know if I have the answer. But I'm wondering today, what do y'all do, and what have you learned? And we got 1 minute and 30 seconds, so tell us something.
Well, I always start. We do a thing I call crossface, and we just get and I set dummies up. We have a point we have to go to, and it's all, half speed to 3/4 speed. We're not full speed at all, and it's more about technique than it is anything else. We're not going to the ground, but I'm watching where they put their head and throwing their hands and shooting their hips, and that's really all I'm looking at. And I want to see them drive through and not stop at the point of contact. I want to see them driving their feet through the lick. But It's not an aggressive league, but it's just I think you need to do it at least once a week. Work on that drill, and that just kind of helps us. I think it kind of keeps us in that mindset of how we need to do it in our technique.
That's not slow dancing, is it? I don't know.
It can turn into slow dancing.
Could you put music to that and teach them that? Coach Strang, you got anything to add?
Well, we start off with the very basic parts of the tackle itself. We actually start our kids out on their knees to start with a guy in the front, how to throw the hands, and where your face supposed to be and stuff like that. And we progress all the way through it. We don't tackle as much full speed as what we used to because of the way the rules are. But we have bought more tackling dummies and tackling donuts, and where they hit pads, they got the tackling donuts you can roll out there and they can go through on the tackle, so at least not 2 kids involved in it. So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Coach Prestridge, I know you said you were going to be quiet tonight, but I know you got something to add.
Well, I mean, we just basically, like the coach said right here, that basically we work on good technique, not hitting with our head and having good form. But at the end of the day, we don't hit a lot during the week also because of injuries and all, but the biggest thing is either you want to tackle or you don't want to tackle. That's just the bottom line to it on Friday night. Either you're a hitter or you're not a hitter. So what's that old saying? Either hit or be hit. So you got to figure out which one you want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, I think Coleman should take us all to Barbers after this tonight. And but anyway, are we ready? Okay, we're gone. But let me remind you again, get your questions ready for 2 weeks for the call-in that we talked about earlier, okay?
Thanks for listening to the Russell Dewitt Center Area Football Coaches Show on Eagle 102.3 and online at eagle1023.com.